Kenmore. Doors will open on the left.
Our, I guess, second half predictions. So starting off, we have MVP. I went with Alex Bregman because I think it's kind of 50-50 for what he does on the field versus what he does off the field. Because you have seen, even when he was out for a while with the injury, he was helping a lot of these young guys develop. He was helping Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony really come into their own in the major leagues. And I think that is a big factor, especially, I don't know what Pete Fatz really does, to be honest, because
we're Pete Fatsy guys now. The change in the hitting room is, which I was actually going to get into this when after you kicked it to me on Bregman, but the change in the hitting room is a massive change. I mean, that is to identify that and figure it out, to be like, okay, and I know it's something that they said they've done in the past, but to figure out mid-season to individualize the hitting workouts, like, or the hitting meetings, like, they couldn't hit their way out of a wet paper bag.
But did that start with him?
Well, they said it was like a brain trust meeting on the plane coming back from LA. They said it was Cora, Fatsy, I forget, I don't know his real name. Everyone calls him Rosie. And who the hell is the other one? The guy they got from the Yankees, assistant hitting coach.
I don't know his name. I'll try to find it.
Yeah, it was those. However, those four guys that were sitting together on the plane, and that's when they hatched the plan to individualize the hitting meetings and move the couch in there and make it.
Is it Lawson?
Yes, yeah, Dylan
Lawson. Yeah.
And since then, I mean, like we said, the offense is firing on all cylinders. And yes, it was against the Nationals and the Rockies, whose pitching staff sucks, but. Like, I mean, we see the change in Cedon Rafaela. We see the change in all these guys. Roman is hitting the piss out of the ball. And I guess I'll just get to my Bregman point here, too. Like, he's just been essentially another coach while he's been gone. Like, I heard a story that he would pop up to the players, like, pop up to those young guys and be like, all right, what are you going to do against this guy? And
exactly,
pop quiz them. Like, his impact has been enormous. But I don't think we can discredit what Fatsy has done for this offense since that road trip.
Yeah, okay. So that aside, that one-off comment aside, I've I've come around on Pete Fatsy. That's not to say I just think
the Jon Snow sword meme when you came to attack Pete Fatsy.
Yeah, no, totally fair. Like, I just think, like JD Martinez, Bregman has been that player hitting coach. Like, and I think that. Mm-hmm.
It's something that we were talking about before they signed him, about how they haven't really had that type of person here since JD. And I mean, we know that the work that JD did with Mookie and Devers and all this young crop of players that were coming into their own when they signed JD.
Yep, exactly. So I think, like I said, it's 50-50 for what he can help with the young guys. And also, I think he's a lot of what your second half lineup will be. I'm very optimistic that he returns to form. And if he does, then he's the middle of your lineup. He's, it was cool to have that 1-2 punch of Rafael Devers and Alex Bregman. Now you have Roman Anthony and Alex Bregman, which I'd argue is even better if they're both home.
Let's not go crazy, but
I think I'm going to get crazy.
I think they will be better.
Yeah.
Eventually. But like I said, like, I think that Roman Anthony's like an MVP caliber player. So
nah, I don't miss Rafael Devers anymore at all. I'm fully focused on what comes next.
Well, and that's what's great about having this type of heater in this type of stretch where you're 21-9 in your last 30 games. Like, it makes trading that guy a lot easier. If they fell off a cliff and they continue to not be able to hit, even with the adjustment to the hitting room, then we'd be singing a completely different tune. Like, but the fact that, and Devers has been, we haven't even mentioned the Will Fleming nonsense, but
yeah.
Hashtag Team Fleming, obviously.
Of course.
That's our guy. But yeah, I don't know. I miss Rafi a little bit.
Yeah. I guess I do too. But I'm just trying to cope. I'm trying to go to the next half.
Well,
Um,
I mean, we have to we
yeah.
have to move on. Like we're focused on this team. This team's playing really good, and if we just continue to dwell on the past, then like that's we're never gonna move past it. Like if he's
Mhm.
here, it's like what Duran said in his Section 10 interview. Like he's there and we're here. If we just sit around and fucking cry about it, like what's that gonna do for us? Like we have to continue to show up and play baseball here.
Yeah, no doubt. That was a tangent-filled MVP prediction. But yeah, I'm going with Alex Bregman.
Yeah, I'm going with Roman after I literally just said like I would still take Rafi over him. but,
Oh man.
but give me Roman. I'm a
Yep.
prospect hugger at my very core, like I said. I just think I think when he comes up, he just has it. He everything about him is like I said, he's a professional baseball player. In this stretch, he's hitting three whatever. I gave the numbers earlier. I'm not going to pull them back up, but
Yeah.
I think he's going to continue to get more and more comfortable with major league pitching, and he's going to play every day. Cora said that if there's one guy that's going to get in there every day, it's going to be Roman Anthony. It could be left, right switch on the mound. It does not matter. He's going to be out there, and he is proving why he was the number one prospect in all of baseball, and he's proving why you go under slot on was he the Mikey Romero year?
I think so.
Yeah, you go under slot on Mikey Romero or it must have been Mikey Romero because Nick York was the Blaze Jordan year. You go under
Yep.
slot on Mikey Romero and you give a bag to a guy that you believe in. And it's a credit to the last administration and Heim for identifying that guy and going out and landing him and paying him what it takes. But he's going to be a really, really good player for a really long time for this team. And maybe you brought him up a little bit sooner than you would have liked to because, like I said, I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year with the way that he's trending right now. But yeah, Roman Anthony, second half MVP.
Yep, love it. Our second half Cy Young was of course Garrett Crochet. Not much more to say on him, I don't think.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so for our breakouts, I'm going to stay with Richard Fitz because I do think, like I said, if they don't make an addition to the rotation at the deadline, then he's going to be that Hunter Dobbins guy. He's going
Yeah,
to take his spot, and I think he's going to rise to the occasion. You've seen it at times throughout this season. And obviously, it took him a while to get that first major league win. But even still, he had his stuff has ticked up. He was throwing like 97, 98
yeah,
consistently against the
98.
Rockies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just really believe in him. I don't know what it is about him, but I've decided to put a buy into a lot of Richard Fitz stock. So I'm going to see it throughout the rest of this season. And I think regardless, what you got for Alex Verdugo is just awesome. So
Yeah, and Greg Weissert has been fantastic. You could argue that you
mhm.
got more for Alex Verdugo than you got for Mookie Betts, which
Yeah,
is
oh,
which
very
is
easily.
absolutely crazy to
Yep.
think about. My breakout for the second half is Marcelo Meyer. We've seen it in flashes for him, but
Mhm.
it's just a 224 batting average with an 86 OPS plus. We know that they're not letting him face lefties yet, but I think he's going to get more comfortable. It's like I said before, like I've never had him step up to the plate and be like, oh, he was completely overpowered in that AB. And part of it is that they're sheltering him against lefties. Like I'm sure if they trotted him out there against some of the real elite lefties that they'll face, then maybe he would look overmatched.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen it to that point. I think he's just one of those guys that belongs. Like I think Roman Anthony belongs. I think Marcelo belongs. I think Christian Campbell still belongs. I'm nowhere near giving up on Christian Campbell yet. He's just taking a different path than these guys, and that's okay. I mean, he took a different path from the second they drafted him. This is a guy that spent 1 year in the minors. Like these guys, Marcelo's been around since what 21,
Yeah.
and Anthony's been around since 23. So these are guys that have so much more time in the minors and so much more time in professional baseball than Campbell. I think we're finally going to start to see Marcelo piece it together with more consistent playing time at second base, and I think he's going to break out in a major way here.
Yeah, that would be the icing on the cake, I think, for how the team has played thus far. If you get Meyer going consistently, then this lineup is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, for our rookie of the year, we both have Roman Anthony. No surprise there. And finally, we have our biggest disappointment.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Greg Weissert.
Different
Um,
guys, same reasoning, I would
Pretty
assume.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you felt the usage with Greg Weissert in, I guess, the second. It's gonna stay with me here. The second half of the first half of the
Yeah.
season.
Uh-huh.
You've really seen him come back down to earth. He was pitching out of his mind for a while there, and then they just kind of ran him into the ground. And I don't think this is any fault of his own, to be honest. Like, I just think he's feeling it. Like, I can't imagine he's had a workload like this before. I just don't expect. I know Zach has read the numbers off. It must have been a couple episodes ago now, but yeah, I just don't expect that to change. And I think bullpen help is a key thing they need to target at the deadline, because you've seen Bernardino, you've seen Weissert come back down to earth and really feel that they've have like 40 appearances thus far. I don't know the
Yeah.
exact numbers, but I can guarantee you that it doesn't really get better from here. Like, I don't think he's just going to magically be like, "Oh, I'm okay." Like a week break just fixes everything. I just don't see that happening. So I hope they bring in some more help there. And yeah, I just don't see it getting better for Greg Weissert, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, as you shy away from, we've seen them shy away from Weissert and Bernardino. Bernardino less so than Weissert, but we've seen them start to shy away from these guys. But that just puts more strain. Now you're just wearing down some of those other guys for the
Right.
sake of getting these guys rest. And it doesn't seem like help is on the way in Justin Slayton anytime soon. They shut down his throwing program. I honestly, like, with the way that this is trending, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see Slayton again this season. Like, they're
Mhm.
being so, like, I think cagey is the word that Chris Cotillo used when talking about how they're being with Slayton. Like, it just feels like this is something where it's way worse than we know. And
Yeah.
to me, like, I don't know, like with Slayton, this isn't a guy that I'm willing to really like push things with. Like, this is a guy, again, this is going to be a big piece of your bullpen moving forward beyond this year. So if it's something where you can go out and add another reliever at the deadline and just tell Slayton to, like, hey, if you need to, don't rush it, just pack it up for the year, like, we'll be okay this year. That's fine with me. I just don't see, I just feel like it's not happening for Slayton again this year.
I agree. And it's unfortunate because we both had pretty high expectations for him heading into the season.
I
And
thought he was
now,
going to be the closer by like May 1st.
yeah, and honestly, you saw flashes of that, and then he went on the IL, and it doesn't seem like they have any timetable. It's kind of similar to Cutter Crawford, except you never saw him this season. So
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's going to be back, but regardless, you definitely need bullpen help.
Yeah, my biggest disappointment for the second half I have is Carlos Narvaez. And it's for a similar reason as Weissert. I think that the wear and tear is eventually going to catch up with him. Like, I mean, Connor Wong is just, he's not a major league baseball player. Like, that's the long and the short of it. And everyone just says, like, oh, well, why don't you just get a backup catcher? Backup catchers just don't grow on trees. I mean, Wong has taken a step forward defensively this year. Last year, he was the worst defensive catcher in baseball. This year, he's been about league average, but he's just not getting it done with the bat. He's just a black hole. 1 RBI, 0 extra base hits. I know he was hurt for a little bit, but that's just not good enough as far as a backup catcher goes. So, like, you need to rely on Carlos Narvaez to play 6 days a week in some instances. Like, and I'm looking at it right now. The most games Carlos Narvaez has caught in his career up until this year, he's already surpassed that point, was 64. He caught 64 games in 2022 for in the Yankees organization. He's already at 71 this year. It just it just doesn't feel like something that's going to be super sustainable. This was actually going to be among my final thoughts. The Red Sox traded Blake Sable for cash to the White
Yeah.
Sox. So the catching depth is really, really thin down there in Worcester after Yasmani Grandal retired. Personally, I think I said it here. I would have given Grandal a shot before he retired. I would have just said, hey,
Absolutely.
like if he came to you and said, hey, you're going to retire, I would have said, all right, how about we give you one shot up here before? Because, like, and I know, familiarity with the pitching staff. Yasmani Grandal is a really good defensive catcher that's been around the block. I'm sure he would have been just fine picking up the load and working with these pitchers. I'm trying to find the two names now for the catchers. It's Sebi Zavala is one of them.
Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah. So the number 3 catcher in the organization right now is Sebi Zavala, and the number 4, if you just go by the AAA depth chart, is someone named Enderso Lira, who, according to Sox prospects, has spent the majority of the season on the developmental list in AAA.
Oh
So
boy.
I think a move's coming for a backup catcher. Hopefully that's
Yeah.
not also the right-handed bat the same way that it was with Danny Jansen. But to me, I just feel like the innings, like it's 606 innings of catching that Carlos Narvaez has done this year. Again, that previous high was 524 and a third innings. So he's already 82 and a third innings more caught this year than he ever has in his entire career. It's nothing against him. It's just I don't know how sustainable it is at that position.
No, I totally agree. It honestly, I might be a little bit more optimistic about the workload, but I don't know. It's harder for me to be as confident as I am in Garrett Crochet, and obviously it's two different sides of the ball. But I'm more confident in Garrett Crochet being fine than Carlos Narvaez. Probably the toughest position to play, maybe in all 4 major sports. I don't know if that's a bad take or not. Yeah, I want to be confident in Narvaez, but I agree. Like, I think they need a more solidified backup catcher to take some of that weight off his shoulders, because if you go with Connor Wong, then it's just a walking out everywhere you look.
I feel like that another move has to be coming. I feel like you don't
Yeah.
deal Sable for cash if you don't have something like at least like semi close. Like I don't
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be Sean Murphy. It doesn't have to be some like name that you know. It doesn't have to be a guy that can do a 50-50 workload, but like at this point if you can find someone who can at least be a serviceable catcher, a serviceable backup catcher for 3 days a week, 2 days a week, that does light years for Narvaez.
Yeah, I know we'll get into the trade deadline primer later in another episode, but a name that popped into my head is Kyle Higashioka, just simply
Yeah.
because the Rangers are probably on the outside looking in. Could you see them deal a backup catcher like that or someone along those lines?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I honestly I hadn't dove into the backup catcher market
Oh,
much,
you're
but
good.
I do like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that at
And
all.
he's been serviceable at the plate too this year.
Yeah, and you've seen flashes. Like, he was pretty good for the Padres and the Yankees before that. So the last thing we had here was, will they make the playoffs? And yeah, do you want to start off here?
Yeah, I think they're winning the East.
They're only 3 games back right now. Like,
Yeah,
if you
I
if
just
you said that to me heading into this break, I would think you're insane.
I want to say they were like as far as 10 and a half games back at one point.
Oh yeah, like it was
Uh,
pretty sizable.
Yeah. They were like, and I know we said this before the season when both of us had them winning the East, that like
Mhm.
nobody in the division scares me. Like, I think the Yankees are showing their true colors right now. Like, their pitching
Yep.
staff is not very good, and their offense has one good player. I know Jazz has been really good as of late, and Bellinger had 3 home runs against the Cubs, but like they
Yeah.
have one truly elite player, and you can come around and say, well, who do the Red Sox have outside of Alex Bregman? And I will tell you, Roman Anthony is better than Aaron Judge. But there's just nobody really that scares me with the way that they're playing right now. Like, I think the Red Sox pitching core said it yesterday. We're gonna go as far as the pitching staff takes us.
Yep.
And I bank on this pitching staff more than I'll bank on anyone besides maybe the Rays in the division. So like I'm looking at June 6th they were 10 and a half back. So month and change ago. And now
Mhm.
it's 3 games back. Like, I just think they're riding really hot momentum. The Blue Jays every year for the last 4 years has been the Blue Jays year, and just every year they
Kyle
fall
Pitts.
apart. Yeah. And so I refuse to believe in the Blue Jays. Which conveniently enough, this is like the first year in like 3 years that I haven't bet on the Blue Jays to win the East. So naturally, this will be the year that they do it. But yeah, I think they're gonna win the East, and it could just be hopium. It could just be living in the moment and being a prisoner of the moment, not living in the moment, and we're on a 10-game winning streak right now. But I believe that this team has the tools to win the East, and that's before we even know what they do at the deadline, which, to be honest with you, I'm expecting a pretty sizable addition.
Yeah, I'm with you there. But I also think the Red Sox have the most complete team in the division, and I don't think it's ridiculous to say that. You look at the rotation, you look at the what they have at the top in Crochet, you look at Giolito and Brian Bayo, who are in the midst of really great seasons. And you look at the lineup, and I would say I would put this lineup 1 through 9 against anyone else in the division and take them over any other team. And I don't know, like you said, like maybe that's hopium, maybe that's too much optimism given the state of the team right now. But I really think anything can happen here, and you're only 3 games out. Like, that is not a crazy mountain to climb at all. So I think they're going to win it as well.
Yeah, I'm all in on that. I already have a bunch of tickets for them to win it, or else I would take it live. But yeah, I'm feeling good about where they're at right now.